Spider-Man No Way Home is a mid-tier movie, and I would rather watch The Amazing Spider-Man than this movie.
Yeah, all this movie did is remind me of how much better The Amazing Spider-Man, particularly The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was, really.
No, we kid. We kid. This is our review of...
It's a spoiler review of No Way Home.
Yeah.
We're going in depth.
We've taken a bit of time to process it.
Yeah, which is good because there's a lot to process in this movie.
Yeah, gather our thoughts.
Got all that shit written down, ready to go. Biggest movie of the year, let's go. It's got
the second biggest box office opening of all time.
One Infinity.
Yeah.
Which was, I thought it would have been Endgame. Surprisingly, it wasn't.
Was it? Oh.
Yeah, it was. I was thinking it was Endgame, but no, Infinity.
Well,
at least in America, I think.
Should we just jump into it?
Let's go. Let's fucking go.
This was an incredible movie.
They're in it.
Yeah.
Like, let's just not just get to it, but they are in it.
And they carried.
Toby and Andrew.
This is what, everyone was wanting it.
That's why I went to the movie.
Exactly.
I don't like the villains, yeah, they were in it, but this is why I went to the movie. And I shot my webs.
Yeah. We had to bloody get a broom out and wipe down the screen after that scene.
Yeah. Organic.
What's Tooth's little friend up the back in the puffer jacket?
Oh, yeah, Tomo.
Yeah. Not this Tomo, the other Tomo.
Yeah, different one.
Was spunking his load.
No, but let's go through the entire thing because it takes place after Far From Home, where everyone's found out who Spider-Man is.
Directly after.
And pretty much it's just having a negative effect on every aspect of his life because he's the most famous person on the planet now. He can't go to school or anything without getting harassed, and it's also affecting the people in his life as well.
Yep.
Because Ned, him, and
MJ,
Michelle Jones, they're all wanting to go to MIT but aren't let in because there's so much controversy surrounding them.
I have a question about MJ. I'm not sure if you have the answer. Is her name Michelle Jones Watson or Michelle Jones Watson?
The Jones Watson, I think, is a hyphenated
So it's a hyphenated last name, right?
Yeah. I think so anyway.
Yep.
But yeah, so the stress of everything, it's just getting too much for old Spidey.
Old Pete.
And as we've seen in the trailer, goes to Doctor Strange, casts a spell, opens a multiverse, and bang.
Wong didn't say his line from the trailer though.
Yeah, that happens a lot with trailers.
No, I know, but I felt like that was such a... it was a clear throw off, I think, which it threw me off.
He was like, because he is the Sorcerer Supreme now, because Strange was, I guess, declared dead. Even though, shouldn't he not have been able to look into the future and see what happened as well?
Who, Wong?
Yeah. But or did he just not care, you reckon?
Maybe because he didn't have the time stone at the time, so...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, because he did need to use a time stone. That's right, yeah.
But yeah, basically...
I'm dumb. Don't listen to me.
Peter goes into Strange. He's like, cast a spell. I want everyone to forget that I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And Doctor Strange was like, yeah, cool. And then, you've seen this all in the trailer. He fucks up the spell pretty much, and he's like, I want these people to remember, these people to remember, these people to remember. And he screws it up.
Yeah, he fucks it up. He can't stop talking. Wade Wilson.
Yep.
And opens the multiverse. But one thing
just quickly, it would have been easier if he had just said, I want people to forget who Mysterio was.
Yeah.
Because then Mysterio wouldn't have been able to reveal a secret.
Who cares?
Yep.
There's so many things you could have done, but you're forgetting one certain man who made his appearance early on in the film. He wears glasses, he carries a walking stick, and his name is Matthew...
The Penguin. Oh, yes. Yes.
His name is Matthew Murdock, it's confirmed.
Charlie Cox.
He's fucking in it. Like, I just
This was such a subtle and quick... Like, I wasn't expecting it to happen the way it did.
It was just... I almost wanted more, but at the same time, it was just the perfect amount just to show, like, he's in it. Because Daredevil, talk about something just being absolutely executed to perfection. It's one of the best things I've ever seen. And I thought,
I thought Iron Fist was better.
Iron Fist, this peak. But, just thank you, Marvel.
Yeah,
just thank you, honestly.
This was good.
Like, that's all I can say when it comes to shit like this, really. Like, they do give you what you want. It's like opposite WWE.
And Star Wars.
Yeah. But yeah, he's in it for like pretty much 5 seconds as the lawyer, which had been a theory as well that that's what he was going to be.
Yeah.
That whole thing kind of with, like, everyone giving him all this attention and everything, do you reckon that was kind of over and quick?
No, I think it was over quick.
How was like he was getting like all these lawsuits and all this shit, and then just like it was just done.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it did all happen in the space of like a day.
Yeah. So what actually did happen with that though? Because he was getting blamed for all this murder and everything, and then just wasn't.
Actually, no, it didn't happen over a day, did it? Because they did the college montage.
I don't know. Who cares? It doesn't really matter how it happened.
Yep.
We might as well just get to the villains then, because that's another...
Yeah, Peter goes... Yeah, well, he's on the motorway, or the highway, I guess you call it in America. And then, obviously, Doc Ock comes out.
Yep.
And then...
They're all like, where the fuck are we?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Hello, Peter.
And pretty much Doctor Strange and Spider-Man are kind of at the start working together to capture them all, to send them back. But then Doctor Strange makes it known that they're all pretty much inevitably going to be killed by Spider-Man. And
so Doctor Strange must be able to see into other universes then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, he can do what he wants, I think.
Or is that considered another timeline?
What, those ones?
Yeah. We don't have the answers.
Yeah.
We have the questions, we don't have the answers.
I don't have the intelligence, but Peter's pretty much just like,
I don't want them to die.
I want to actually try and save them instead of just sending them back to their death, because he sees aspects of them, particularly like Norman Osborn and Octavius, how they're kind of more like, it's not really their fault, they're kind of controlled, obviously Ock by the AI and his things, and Goblin by the gas.
Yep.
So he sees the human side to them, and that's why he wants to save them. And just all across the board, the villains, like perfection, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, Lizard and Sandman were kind of irrelevant, I think, only because
Sandman kind of like had a bit, because they did team up for a bit, like for a little bit, to capture Electro,
and later on as well.
I think just because with Sandman in Spider-Man 3, he kind of did almost redeem himself at the end, so they didn't want to...
He was never really like that bad of a guy.
Because even in this movie, he kind of just out of nowhere is like, I don't trust you.
Yeah, that's what I thought was
random. And then at the end of the day, he like was a criminal as well.
He doesn't trust anyone, he says.
Yeah, but they were all really good, and Willem, absolutely insanity in this movie. Like,
yeah, he carried the first half of this movie.
The most over-the-top acting, but in the best possible way as Goblin, and you can just tell, like, he's born to play this role.
I think he added, like, new layers to the Green Goblin, Yeah. Like, that we didn't see in Spider-Man 1.
Yeah. And he is something of a scientist himself.
Yeah, that was
they had to get it in. And
they had a few.
Yeah.
What else was there? There was my back.
Yeah, they mentioned the back.
I swear there was one other as well.
There was so much fan service, but it was good.
When it was Doc Ock seeing Toby for the first time, he's like, "How are you?" He's like, "I'm trying to better myself," or whatever he says.
Trying to do better. Yeah. Like, just those interactions just with everyone.
Like, all the audience was like,
from the older movies. It was so good to see, and it was just like the perfect amount of fan service and done in the right way, I thought. But personally, I said this in our little mini review as well, like Electro for me, Jamie Foxx
redeemed himself,
biggest like upgrade ever.
Yeah,
just from I don't think he was terrible in Amazing Spider-Man, but he just didn't really do any like. And this, he had so much more personality, and was able to like, he was almost just acting like himself, kind of like Jamie Foxx, but like that, it just added so much more to it than him in Amazing Spider-Man 2 just being some blue guy being like, and they make fun of that as well.
Apparently he has a clause in his contract that if the movie he's in reaches a certain box office, he gets his own solo spin-off.
Real?
Yeah, that's what I was reading.
Electro spin-off, you reckon?
Potentially could be an Electro spin-off.
I wouldn't hate
or
it.
Maybe it might be like another appearance or something.
Like Jamie Foxx could be in anything and I'd probably enjoy it. Yeah. Like, he's pretty much good in everything. But yeah, just for him, for me, it was just such an upgrade. Obviously, like, you probably couldn't do worse, but
yeah,
that was good to see. And then Lizard just kind of in the background, irrelevant. I didn't even know if he was going to speak. Like, because he doesn't, he just stands there.
I don't even know. Did Connors come back for his speaking role?
You'd think so.
I know that Thomas Hayden, or whatever his name is, fucking Sandman, he came back for voice recording.
Because he's sand like the whole movie.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he had like scheduling issues and stuff like that, so he actually had a reason. But like, I don't know if
I kind of liked how he was just sand though as well.
Yeah,
I don't know, something about that was, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the next part of the movie is kind of like not filler as such, but they then try and go and cure them. Actually, no, I lie. I miss out the bloody fight scene between Doctor Strange and Peter.
I loved this.
This was awesome.
This was like one of the best action scenes I think in Marvel to me. I loved this scene because Strange, they're opposing one another with their ideologies. Strange wants to send them back because he's like, this is messing with our timeline.
Yeah, you fucked it up as it is.
Yeah, and Holland's like, nah, I'm saving them, and they get into this fight, and Strange's little dimension thing on the train, and Peter just works out it's all math and science or whatever and figures out a way that it's moving around to just web him up and get him trapped there.
And he's stuck there for the rest of the movie pretty much.
Yeah, but like that whole scene I loved. I thought that was so good.
But so Peter snags the box.
Yeah.
And he also snags...
Which includes the spell.
Yeah. And he also snags Doctor Strange's little knuckle things.
Oh, yeah.
Which...
The sorcerer, the rings, yeah.
Yeah, which Ned gets... And Ned is magic.
Yeah. I guess, do you have to earn it or can you just do it? I can't remember the Doctor Strange movie all too well.
I don't know.
How the mechanics of it really worked, but...
Yeah.
Use it. Yeah.
And
my next note is pretty much like they're working together on the cure, but then his spider sense goes off and Defoe, because he's been like, he's got like the alternate ego personality. Yeah. But he's got the alternate personalities. He's acting like he's Osborn, but then it becomes apparent that he has turned back into Green Goblin and is kind of working against them or whatever. I think, was he using the tech to do some bad shit?
Yeah.
And then they're able to actually fix Doc Ock because the inhibitor chip, they're able to disable it or whatever. And then... But Jamie Foxx and Sandman and Lizard, they don't want to go back to good.
Yeah.
And with Jamie Foxx, I thought that really made sense because the whole thing about
because he's like attractive now.
Yeah, and he was like, the biggest thing of Amazing Spider-Man 2 was that he was a nobody who fucking everyone just shit on all the time, and now he finally has power. Like, he doesn't want to lose that, especially in this new world as well, where there's so much more, it's like more advanced. And Aunt May is murdered by Green Goblin. Yeah. I didn't care about this at all. I'm sorry.
It was sad.
This was like one of the most emotional meant to be points of the movie, and I just did not care. I
think Tom Holland's acting in this scene was really good.
Yeah.
He's very good with emotion.
They were definitely depending on that because there's always, it's just Holland in every movie. They're trying to get the tearjerkers going. But I was just thinking about the comparisons, like Maguire and his Aunt May, the amount of scenes they had together just like talking about how he's struggling and shit like that, and the emotion behind it, particularly in Spider-Man 2. Like that scene where they're sitting at the table talking about how it was pretty much his fault Uncle Ben died. And then...
no, you'll take this $20.
Yeah, and when she's having to move out of her house and shit like that, and she gives him that big emotional speech to get him to come back as Spider-Man, like... That shit, you just didn't have any of that between these two, really.
Yeah.
Not that it was bad by any means, there just wasn't much substance, I thought, towards their relationship. She was just like the hot aunt.
I think it's because we didn't get a Spider-Man origin.
Yeah, but you didn't need another one.
No, but like, I feel like that's...
To fill the backstory kind of there.
Because we only really knew Peter Parker as Spider-Man, whereas in the original and... In The Amazing, we kind of did get to know Peter Parker as a person rather than...
Yeah, more character moments, whereas I think I've said this before, that these just focus a bit too much on plot rather than focusing to just have those small moments like that. They have quite a bit of actual impact. So when she died by Green Goblin, I literally was just... That kind of threw me off a bit because I realised how much I didn't almost care about Holland's Spider-Man as well.
That was like the first note I had. Like, this movie does show how shit Tom Holland's Spider-Man is.
I don't think shit, but...
not good. Like, it's not bad, but it's not...
Holland isn't bad as Spider-Man, I think.
No, definitely not. But, like, this movie he needed... Like, he hasn't... I don't think he's had a good Spider-Man movie. They've been, like...
Well, I haven't liked them, really.
Yeah. but like he needed.
They've just been too mixed for me almost. There's just like he's good in them, but there's just other shit.
The actual movies are mid, and I think he needed he needed two other franchises to carry him, not to carry him, but to carry his Spider-Man to a good film.
Yeah. So that was just one thing I had, like the emotional connection towards like the Holland storyline of the movie. I didn't really have that much feeling for.
Yeah.
That was probably my only real negative, or one of them with the movie.
I kind of more felt for Happy, eh?
Oh yeah, because that was like such a small subplot, but
they broke up.
Yeah.
And then he's just sitting in the car with all the guns the red dots pointed at him.
Yeah. But I guess that was pretty much just there. I did have a reason because, well, she says with great power comes great responsibility, and then but then they did tie it in a later on scene with the other Spider-Man. They're like, she said to me on the day our Uncle Ben died, he said the same thing, and that's actually what motivated me to be Spider-Man. So it was there for a reason, and almost to kind of make there be more conflict between Spider-Man and Green Goblin for like the final battle.
Yeah.
But I just didn't, even that, like them fighting, like at the end scene where he's like punching the fuck out of him, I was just, again, didn't really feel that much for that either.
Yeah.
Did you? Like
it was a good scene, but yeah, no.
Just because he's not his villain, he's known him for like one day. And then
he did kill his aunt, but...
Yeah, but then 90% of the time, I think you were just seeing him as Norman Osborn. I don't know. I feel like it should have made me kind of hate him more. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, next scene. The scene. Unless you have anything to add before the scene. No,
not really.
The spiral.
Yeah.
Opening the portal.
Ned's at home with Zendaya or MJ, and they're like, we need to go find Peter. And they're like, use your little...
The thing to open the portals.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, find Peter Parker.
It opens up.
And there's a Spider-Man looking in the background.
Yeah, oh my god. I'm just reliving it right now.
Everybody knew.
Reliving it right now.
That's the thing. I think this movie was made great by a great cinema experience.
Yeah.
Like if we went and rewatched it at like 12 o'clock in the day with not many other people there, it wouldn't have its moments. This is like a once in a lifetime thing to be there for this moment.
Yeah.
And yeah, everyone went crazy. Spider-Man, his suit's looking a little different. He jumps through the portal.
It's Garfield, not the cat.
It's Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah. So he just stole the movie, really. He absolutely stole the movie and proved like he almost is my favourite Spider-Man now.
He's always been the best Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies more, but like I don't think there's been any arguing that in terms of actual Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield's always been the best.
Yeah, well that is the thing. I've loved Andrew Garfield ever since I saw him in the fucking Social Network. Yeah. Absolutely, like one of the best actors I've ever seen, to be fair.
That is like what
he's in.
He has that going for it. Like he genuinely is a better actor than
the rest of them.
Than Maguire and Holland.
Yeah. So when I've like obviously we can talk about this a bit as well. Like the Amazing Spider-Man movies
were very average.
Yeah, but Andrew Garfield in them. People like he got a bit of shit for those movies. People saying he was such a bad Spider-Man. I think because those movies were just so mediocre.
The problem was he's too attractive for Peter Parker.
Too old as well. Like that's why Amazing Spider-Man 2 I like it a bit more because it's more believable. And then even in this movie, when he is like an aged Spider-Man, it was just absolute perfection. Like
the fact that he's 40 in real life blows my mind.
He looks young, but not young enough to be a high school student.
No.
But yeah, I always thought Andrew Garfield was good in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. It was just those movies just weren't made well.
Yeah.
So to me, it wasn't really a big surprise, but he did stand out way more than I thought he would, just for how good he was. And that was almost just with the writing of his character, like all the comedic interactions and shit he had, and just his performance was so fucking good.
Yeah. And then we obviously get Toby coming back. I feel like Toby's the reception for Toby wasn't as big as the one it was for Andrew.
I think it's just because
he wasn't wearing the suit.
He wasn't wearing the suit straight away.
Even though he had it on the whole time.
Yeah, but he always has it on. He's got to have the big superhero moment ripping it off for the cameras.
He should have just had it on.
But
he just casually walks through his is just so casual way.
Yeah.
He's like, I felt
it was almost funny though. It was like, sorry, I just walked through this portal back here. But yeah, just favourite part of the movie is literally just the interactions between the three of them.
Yeah.
So good.
Especially when they're on the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Liberty.
I wrote some of them down here though. But
Liberty.
Them working together in the lab, having to create the cure, and he's like, Peter Parker's like, which one? And all that shit.
And they recreate the meme. The Spider-Man meme. Not technically recreate it, but yeah. And then, as we said before, with Electro kind of making fun of himself, they make fun of the Amazing Spider-Man movies because they're talking about all the villains they've fought. And Holland's like, I've been to other planets fighting aliens, and then Toby's like, alien.
Toby's like, I had an alien come to my planet that I had to fight as well, and then Andrew Garfield's like, I fought a guy in a
Russian guy in a rhino suit,
which was in Amazing Spider-Man 2 for like 10 seconds.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like the ending, isn't it?
Yeah. So that was crack up as well, and then obviously
the webs.
Yeah.
So the webs just come out of your wrist? Do they come out of anywhere else?
Yeah, talking about the web shooters compared to the organic webs, which
coming out of the cock.
It was just funny seeing like the lakes on the screen like perfectly acted out.
Yeah.
It was just so crack up. But yeah, I just can't even like. Obviously, great to see Maguire like fucking. My childhood, just reliving it on the screen, so good. But yeah, I can't even say enough about Andrew Garfield, just how good he is and how I love him. I love that man. I just love that man, and I want them. But everyone I've talked to about this movie has said the exact same thing. That Garfield was so good. And
he was the best part.
Like, want to see more of him.
He has to come back. They have to be in discussions.
Yeah. I feel like for Toby, that's kind of just like the perfect way to end it with him like helping.
He's too old. He is too old. I mean, to be fair, he's probably how much older is he than Garfield?
Probably only a few years, but I feel like for him, that's almost like the perfect send off as like the veteran, and then Garfield's still kind of in the age range where he can be back and do more.
I mean, not in the age range, but in terms of looks.
Oh yeah.
But like, they could definitely easily revive the Amazing Spider-Man universe,
and then
and introduce like whole new villains.
Yeah, because there's still heaps of villains.
Because it's technically going to be years down the track.
Yeah, and when they get to the Statue of Liberty as well, when he's like, "Oh, my back," and Garfield's fixing his back. Like
that is he's so much taller than him. And he's just cracking his back.
God, like just so I could have watched the whole movie of that shit. It was so perfect.
I think
it was so perfect.
One of the best scenes that I've ever seen is the three of them swinging. Where they all run off and jump.
Money shot of them all together,
That I felt I felt more during that than I did in Infinity War. Endgame, sorry.
Yeah, absolutely, because it is the childhood, and Andrew Garfield stole the goat suit as well. Like from Amazing Spider-Man 2, that suit is just sexy.
But yeah, and then we have the big fight scene between everyone. All the villains, and then Doc Ock returns and saves them, but
just seeing them all fighting on screen was just fucking
it
was so good. Like I can't even. It's just crazy that this even exists. Like it was just so awesome.
And when Tom Holland's like, we got to fight as a team, and they're like, we've never really fought in a team, and he's like, I was in the Avengers, and they're like,
what is that?
Like, you guys don't know the Avengers?
Yeah.
This movie had some really great moments.
Fuck, it was better than great. Like it was just it just made me so happy. Like I've never felt so happy watching a movie.
Yeah. And then obviously everyone starts turning back into.
Oh, we got Garfield's redemption with the catch.
Oh yeah.
Seeing this in the trailer, another theory was that Garfield would be the one to kind of redeem himself and save
Gwen, or save the lover.
Yeah,
the love
and he did end up doing that, and like even just the small scenes like that, the emotional range of Andrew Garfield was unmatched.
I never thought MJ was gonna die though.
Oh no shit! But
yeah, the catch and then the crying afterwards was that was
that
hit.
But then they pretty much do succeed in curing them all, and Holland and Goblin have their final showdown because he's wanting to murder him for murdering Aunt May, and it was just another kind of thing. I just didn't even believe him, really. Like, I don't know.
And then Toby comes along.
Toby
gets stabbed.
This I didn't like.
I thought he was gonna die.
But even okay, so when he's about to murder Goblin with his own glider, like Maguire did to him back in the day.
Yeah.
And then Toby stops him, and I knew it was coming because he had the knife out and it was, you know, doing this, then like the no music zooming in on the face. I think like they must have been trying to make you think that he was going to, and he gets stabbed. But like, is spider sense a myth?
Peter Tingle.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that.
They can fit, like, the other two are like, I swear Holland's like, do you guys have a tingle? And they're like, yeah, we have a tingle. So like, does that like retcon Spidey sense, or?
It doesn't retcon it, but it's just like,
I don't know. It sounds pretty retcon
the
to me.
shitty word for it. Yeah, so first of all, the spider sense doesn't work when there's a fucking man holding a knife right behind you that you've seen him brought out. I just feel like I just hated seeing him get stabbed on screen. Like, if he died, I would have fucking hated this movie so much. Because I've had enough of that in these movies where they're getting like the old people to come back, or just when it's a send off or whatever. I feel like I would have just liked it more if like you thought he was going to get stabbed, and then like either he like turns around and is able to stop that as well,
or like Matt Murdock with the cane,
or even just like fucking Andrew Garfield. What was he, just watching it happen?
Yeah, like he had the buddy.
If he was about to stab Toby and like Garfield just jumps in and stops him,
he threw the serum down.
Yeah.
But you know, that part was a bit.
Well, I feel like it could have even been more of like a crowd pleasing way instead of him just getting stabbed and then he's like, oh, I've been stabbed before. I'm like, I don't know. There was just, I didn't really like that moment.
Yeah.
And then Parker's like, oh, just make a spell that everyone forgets who Peter Parker was, because I guess Aunt May's dead, so he doesn't really have family or anything. And
we don't know what happened to Uncle Ben though, do we?
No, I'm guessing he just got shot probably.
What if he just didn't?
I don't know.
What if he's black and he just left Aunt May?
If he's Miles Morales' dad.
Imagine. But
yeah, cast a spell to forget Peter, so pretty much resets everything, and for the future, like, no one knows who he is or anything. So yeah. And that's just how it ends. Everyone goes back. And,
my problem with that is, at the end of the day, like, I feel like the whole point of everyone forgetting him, was that he can be this friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, he still fought with the Avengers. He still fought in outer space and stuff. Like, he's still gonna have those contacts to get him the mega suits and stuff like that.
Well, they don't know who he is.
But he could easily just reveal himself. Like, it's not like they completely, like, his existence was wiped. Like, Spider-Man's wasn't. He still did all this stuff.
So they'll remember, do they remember him doing that, but it was not as Peter Parker?
It is Peter Parker.
I don't know. I just didn't even really care. I was like, I thought it was a pretty decent way to end the movie, and then it just opens up. They can pretty much just do whatever they want. Yeah, going forward. And then you also get the Venom after credit scene.
Which I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah, because Tom Hardy, obviously at the end of Venom 2, he's like put into that world, and you see him in the after credits, but then he gets sucked back when everyone else does, but the symbiote stays behind. So is
someone else going to become Venom?
Well, I'm guessing they'll be leading the black suit Spider-Man, but is Tom Hardy going to be in it? Like, will there be just another...
Unless they just like keep... surely they just do Garfield versus Venom.
I don't know.
That would be the next logical step.
J. Jonah Jameson still looks the same, so maybe you could just get Eddie Brock as Tom Hardy as well, and then you could... That way, instead of like having him as the anti-hero, just have him as a straight-up villain. Make it R-rated.
They're not going to do that.
But that's pretty much it, though.
Yeah. Like in terms of plot, I've still got a bit to talk about.
Okay.
Well, not a bit, but like I think people are overrating this movie. Like, I've seen people say this is better than Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
I don't think it was.
I think that's definitely just due to recency bias, and like because of how satisfying it was. All these moments were so great, but
it had great fan service, but like that really is what carried this movie.
This is kind of what the movie was, though, almost. I don't know, I'd still say this is probably my second favourite after Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Just like...
I don't know, I have to rewatch it, man. I gotta rewatch it. Like, it is a great movie, but I left the cinema feeling, like, ecstatic over the things that happened, but there was also a part of me that was like, well, actually, like, some of that was a bit, yeah?
I don't know.
But I do think it's being overrated. I think Tom Holland's...
Oh, I thought Tom Holland was good in this.
I mean, yeah, he was good, but his Spider-Man, I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's solidified as the worst
I kind of get what you're saying. It's like they had to rely on the other movies, but then at the same time, like, I'm fucking not complaining. I got to see all the shit I wanted to see, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I mean, it opens the door to, like, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man at college and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whether it gets into... I mean, he probably won't be going to college now, will he? Because he doesn't exist. So...
I don't know.
I mean, I'm hoping he moves past... I'm hoping he moves past MJ and Ned. Yeah. The thing is... The one thing that I do... does make me go... Meh, is... He's been introduced to Norman and Harry Osborn now. So, even if they do exist in the MCU, but they just haven't been introduced yet, as soon as he hears those names...
I don't think they will, though, because Oscorp doesn't even exist.
But that's what I mean, like... You have to have Green Goblin facing Spider-Man at some point.
I don't know. I feel like you already did, like you did in this movie, though.
I don't count. He has to have like a standalone.
I don't know. I personally wouldn't want to see that again.
I saw a video.
I've had enough.
Saying because Oscorp doesn't exist in the MCU yet, what if Peter became friends with the young Norman Osborn instead of Harry?
Yeah.
I mean, what I think they might do is we've already seen them do it with MJ. They might just switch the names up a little bit. Like, what if we get like a Jerry Osborn or something?
Jerry.
I don't know. Like, they might just
geriatric.
Yeah, they might just switch the names up and something like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
But like, no Doc Ock, no Green Goblin. He probably doesn't know who Electro is.
Yeah.
But like, unless they're just going to go completely rogue with a whole new set of villains. Like, I know we've got Kraven.
They showed Rhino at the end coming through in the multiverse things.
Kraven and...
Yeah, which are almost like lower level villains, I think, what could not even be the worst thing after having all this, like, world-ending shit.
Well, Hawkeye is finishing up this week.
Yeah.
And that is set at the same place as this movie ends, where he's doing his swing over.
Yeah.
Over like the Rockefeller ice skating.
Yeah.
And obviously Kingpin's in that, so Kingpin is probably going to be in the next Spider-Man, I'd say. Unless Spider-Man makes a cameo in Hawkeye.
Yeah. And like, you've obviously got Daredevil as well. They could do a team up or something like that.
I think they'll keep that entirely separate.
Maybe. Probably.
I don't even think Daredevil will get a movie for a fair few years. I think they'll just stick to shows for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, this was an excellent movie. I do think it's being overrated, though. I'm going to title this video as Spider-Man No Way Home Overrated, just so we can get those views.
I don't know. Like, people are just happy to actually just see what they want, I think. And it's like...
I still think it's being overrated.
I think calling it the best is probably overrating it, but...
Are people saying it's the best comic book movie of all time?
No. Well, I wouldn't say this is better than Infinity War.
No, I'd say it's better than Endgame.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's better than Infinity War. I wouldn't say it's better than... I wouldn't even
say this is better than Shang-Chi, probably.
Oh, no, definitely.
Do you reckon?
Definitely. This is my movie of the year still. Oh.
You're literally saying it's your movie of the year.
But this movie hasn't been the strongest for... This year hasn't been the strongest for movies.
Yeah, I guess. But like,
I was about to say, maybe Tick Tick
You're just kind of contradicting yourself at the same time.
No, because I mean, saying it's the best of all time is what I mean. Yeah. Like, when I say people are overrating
those people can fuck up.
Even the best Spider-Man, I still don't think. But those people's lists, man, I've seen like, some of them have like this.
But then people will say we're insane for not really liking Homecoming and Far From Home. So.
No, but I don't care. So I've seen people rank the Venoms higher than Spider-Man.
I'm guessing
than the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies.
I'm guessing you're putting this in quality, then you have to be.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's still an excellent movie.
Yeah.
But I just think people were saying it's the best movie of all time.
Like, I guess all the nostalgia and shit absolutely just pushed it over the edge, even though I did have some issues with the movie, but just, I don't know, it was all worth it. I got everything I wanted to see. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, are we still gonna, like, is Spider-Man still in the Avengers? Like, for new Avengers movies that are coming up, is he still going to be in the Avengers? Is he going to be in the Young Avengers? We're going to do a video...
I just don't even care how it really, like, relates itself to other ones.
We're going to do another video talking about, like, how we would book the next phase of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Let us know in the comments what you thought of Spider-Man No Way Home. Was it your movie of the year? Or was Tick Tick Boom? Was Andrew Garfield the greatest actor this year?
Fuck yeah, surely.
Oscar. He has to get an Oscar nom.
Has to.
But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thwop.
And we'll catch you on the flip side. Pa 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 pa.
Peter Tingle.
Hello, Peter. Peace.